Well then, I guess if you say Hitotsune enough times, which we did hear it a bit too many times for my liking, it finally happened. Yuya has become ZARC. If you can get away with saying this, I think this is one of the best episodes of the series. I think there has been probably one or two that were a little bit better than this. I feel as if they maybe could have dragged this fight out for just a little tiny bit longer because it was such a big battle, really. But the way it sort of resolved and the sort of emotions that sort of went flying around in just 2 episodes, I thought they were really, really good. So let's get all the great things about this episode out of the way. Animation quality was on point. It was the best looking episode I think we've seen. Shadows looked really good. You could really see emotions in people's faces. Yuri looked absolutely insane, as per usual. Yuya looked like he was in absolute dire distress. Every time they had 4 of the dragons out, you could feel him grabbing his chest. Felt bad for him. Especially at the one point in the duel where he was in like such a pinch that he's like, oh shit, I'm going to have to do it. He discards his Smile World card and he's so distraught by this. He's basically rejected his father's ideology and everything that his father represents. His father was watching over and he's just chucked it away. It's how he sees things. I kind of saw it more as a, well, you know, sometimes you gotta sacrifice some stuff for the greater good. But yeah, I thought all that was really, really good. It took Reggie to come over and say, listen, that card doesn't define you. You created pendulum summoning, that's your thing, something like this. Stuff we've kind of heard before. There was a few of those Yuya's lost his way kind of moments again. I thought we were done with that, but obviously, yeah. Now, I want to quickly say something about Yuya Sakaki. So, some people don't like Yuya as a character, and I can see why they say this. He's kind of, in comparison to all the other different Yuyas, we've got your edgelord Yuto, you got your funny guy Yugioh, and you've got your mad, crazy guy Yuri. Yuya's the bland one, is the, hey guys, everything's gonna be okay, oh I'm crying again because Yuzu's gone missing, stuff like that. I would say, because he's the standard version, he's meant to be a blank slate, he's a, hold on. He's a white sheet. There's nothing attached to him, no like dinginess. But throughout this series, we've seen things really, really get to him and sort of bring him down. And I think this series is basically all the things he's seen and all the things he's taken on board have corrupted him to get to this point. Because like he's had to reject his Small World Dad's card. He's had to face some people, and he's had to learn to duel. He's dueled with anger and things like that. So I feel like this is like kind of the corruption of Yuya that has finally sort of led to his acceptingness of becoming ZARC. But yeah, what a reveal that was. Why did no one try to stop him? He was walking over a bit ominously towards Yuri. And Yuri's face when he lost that duel, where he's like, I actually lost. I guess since it was to myself, I don't actually mind that much. But that was pretty cool. But when Yuya turns around and is like, I won. Just like you all wanted, I'm going to keep on winning now. And then we get sort of the universes all merging together. So in the next episode, ZARC is 100% back. We see a little sort of bit of him. He's all kind of like skeletal, kind of, it's like outer skeleton, kind of thick things. I don't really like the look of this ZARC. I don't think this is going to be his final form. It looks a bit like, this isn't even my final form yet kind of thing. But the weird thing about it is, he's got Yuya's appearance. You can definitely see his red and green hair in the little tiny bit we see. And he describes himself as, no, I'm not Yuya, I am the original ZARC. Yuya was just my counterpart that helped me revive. So, I hope we get to see ZARC's proper form, but ZARC's monster is 100% back and looking as ominous as ever. Up there in the sky, literally the size of a, like, not a city, like a skyscraper or something. It looks insane. So, all the worlds are together now, and I'm calling this now. Before I thought ZARC might have been the good guy and Rei was the evil one and she might have corrupted ZARC. I think Rei is still evil and she either corrupted ZARC to begin with, which caused him to go mental and things like that, or Rei had her own agenda. So when she met ZARC, she was like, I'm gonna fuck up your plans and I've got my own evil agenda. So I still don't think Rei's a good guy because they're putting this off too much and she seems a bit, I don't know, a bit odd. So yeah, that's what I'm calling in the next 1 or 2 episodes. We're going to have a reveal that Rei is evil. So I look forward to that, hopefully. Another good thing was the sound quality in the episode. The music, of course, was used really well. This season, I think, has had music really on point. And it's got the whole, when tense moments are happening, you can sort of hear that heartbeat going off. And that like worked really well for the episode. So everything to do with that was really good. And there was this like blood-curdling cry that Yuya did. It was after he rejected the Smile World card and discarded it. And he's like, oh, I've rejected my father, and he drops to the floor. And like the sort of like cry he does there, I was like, holy shit. Well done, actor who plays you. Yeah, you did a good job there. Now, I've seen a few people make this comment. Now, my camera's done that thing again when it's gone nice now. Why can't you just do that to start with? I hate it. Stupid camera. So these are the two things that people had complaints about with the episode, which was to do with the actual duel. Yuri, if he would have used Rebellion Dragon's ability, and he'd have discarded, obviously, the things in it, then Yuya wouldn't have been able to do the play he did. But I can kind of see why he wouldn't have done it, because he was able to get rid of Odd Eyes on the field, so... But that was one thing people said, maybe if Yuri would have used that ability, he wouldn't be able to turn it around. And the other one, Yuya's making such a big deal about discarding Smile World, but people seem to say that he's forgotten about his Pendulum Monster's abilities, if they were on the field at the time of him there, or if he added them afterwards, because people said he seems to forget about his Pendulum Monster's special abilities when they're in the Pendulum Zones. So yeah, there were two things I don't think he considered, but I haven't actually looked any research into it, so that might be completely off, but that was something that I saw someone did mention. So I don't really need to go any more into the specifics of the episode. You kind of know what the good bits were, you've watched it yourself, so you don't really need me telling you about it. But what I'm going to do talk about is, on a whole, what I thought of the series so far. I'm going to do probably a Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 full series review at the end when it's all finished. And obviously, if you haven't seen it, I've got another video which talks about the new main character for the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, which is about card games on hoverboards. And I think they're in armor or something. And the main character apparently has never dueled in his life, and this is the first time he's going to duel, so that should be interesting. I actually have high hopes for a new series. But getting back to my point, I think this series, despite its flaws, I think it was one of, if not my favourite Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Now, obviously, I'll always hold a special place towards the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX for me was probably my favourite one for some reason. I didn't get into Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, but I did watch it recently, and I could see it had the best story and the best characters out of all the series that had come so far. Zexal, I tried to get into it with the dub at first. I hated the dub, I hated Yuma's voice, but I started watching bits of the sub for my trivia videos, and even though I didn't watch it all the way through, the episodes that I saw bits and pieces on, I could really tell there was something good there, despite some of the things that I didn't like about the series. But I would still put Zexal last for me, but that's only because I haven't watched it all the way through. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, I would have to say, is one of my favourite ones, because obviously you've got the combination of all the different types of pendulum summoning, which is really good, and you've got the reoccurrences of characters from other series, which is obviously great fan service, and that works out really well. But the weight of the duels that are happening now, and the fact that we've got alternate versions of different people, I think is really, really good. And there's been a sense of mystery throughout the entire series, which we have had time to sort of think about and try and understand. Why are there different versions of this character? Why are there 4 different universes that they can go between each other and things like that? And that's something that we've got to work out together as we've watched the series, and that's something that's not really had in the older series. There was no mystery, it was just, there's the bad guy, defeat the bad guy's defeated. And obviously there was some layers to that, but yeah, I think it's been really good. Anyway, that's all I want to say about this episode for now. And I really want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed this review, then please give it a like, because I really appreciate it. So then, guys, I want to say thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.